All right, Chuck, thank you. And it is the last Thursday of the month. That means it's time for Doctors on Call, where we get those answers direct from the guy himself. Local doctors giving us some advice on our topics.
And today we're joined by Dr. Brian Curtis, Vice President of Clinical Specialty Services with OSF Healthcare. We're going to talk seasonal allergies, and of course you deal with this every year, but what are you seeing this year?
It's kind of the usual. Right now with all the pollens, the pine trees are blooming, the grasses are coming, and the weeds are starting to pop up.
That means the patients are coming to you.
They are.
Now, we did get some questions from our viewers, and Debbie is asking why her eyes and nose are running, even though she'll take like an Allegra 24-hour or a Zyrtec or something like that.
Yeah, and sometimes if you start the medicines a little too late in the seasons, you kind of have to play catch-up. And then sometimes it's just you have such a large exposure that it can tamp down your symptoms but can't completely relieve them.
So if you're new to allergies, are you supposed to take those medications every day?
So usually we tell people to start about probably 2 to 3 weeks before your allergy season. So if you know you have a seasonal allergy in the springtime, you probably should start the medicines probably March, early March.
Oh,
interesting. All right, next question from Bubba G out of Pekin. This question today is, how often should I change my allergy medication, my nose spray, or my allergy pill?
I would say if it's working for you, don't fix what's not broken, right? And so just keep going with it. So no need to change.
Now, what if you've had to use that same spray, though, for one season? You get to the second season, you still have it. Should you keep using that same spray?
Yeah, if it did relieve your symptoms, you know, that's been demonstrated to work for you, and so you found the cure, and so I would stay with it.
You're not worried about it getting bad after a year, that same...
Oh, the expiration date? Yeah, I would, on the bottles and the, all the bottles have an expiration date, and so after that expiration date on the medication, you do need to discard it. And we usually tell people to use discard bins, usually at your pharmacy or at the fire department. Please don't throw them in the trash or down the sink.
Good point.
All right. Well, Carrie B is asking, can you have active ingredients or active allergies all year round, like that chronic cough and drainage? Is that allergies, or could it be something else?
Yeah, so those are usually an environmental allergy. So there's something in your environment that's causing it. So it could be a dust mite or some other kind of dander. So if you have a pet. And so those tend to be kind of an environmental allergy that's either in your house or your workplace or something like that.
I have a family member that struggles with these medicines making them just so tired they feel like they can't function. Are there different ones that may impact you more or less on, I guess, the drowsy scale?
Yeah, some people are very sensitive to even the non-sedating antihistamines, so they're supposed to be non-sedating. They say it knocks me out. The Allegras and the Claritins tend to be a little bit better than the Zyrtecs for non-sedating. However, some people are more sensitive to them, and so usually when people have that, we usually tell them to take it at night and switch all their doses to the nighttime.
If you've got a dander issue in your house, will a humidifier help, for example, or a dehumidifier?
Yeah, the best thing for a dander would be a HEPA filter to pull that dander out of the air, and then when you vacuum, make sure that your vacuum has some type of HEPA filter so you're not just re-aerosolizing everything into the environment.
Sure. Okay. Next question from Jessica N. out of Lexington. What is the best way to determine if my symptoms are due to seasonal allergies or sinus inflammation or an infection? Can allergies lead to a sinus infection, or is that the result of exposure to a virus?
Yeah, so most sinus infections are related to a virus, and they tend to be a little bit different than allergies. You can have body aches, headaches, injected eyes, stuff like that. Allergies tend to be seasonal, and so every season I am like this, and so usually you can predict it. But people that have seasonal allergies can develop into a sinusitis because you have some obstruction in the outflow sometimes of your sinus cavities, and so it can lead to that. Still, the most common treatment for it is symptomatic.
All right. And lastly, are there any medications you shouldn't take with allergy medications?
Usually we talk about like an Afrin. So you see Afrin over the counter.
Okay.
And so that really works really quickly. It decreases the swelling in your turbinates. But we tell people to use 3 or 4 days, and then you have to stop it because your body will get used to it, and a little bit of habit forming. Otherwise, we tell people to avoid other sedating kind of medications, and then obviously to avoid alcohol if you're taking any type of medications.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us for April Doctors on Call.
Yeah, thanks. Careful out there.
All right. We'll be right back.